I'm not quite sure if you could get rid of the problem in that way. And so, if you, taking your point directly, if you say government must do that, well, if they must do it, but then they don't, I'm not quite sure that changes the analysis in the end. You've still got to deal with folks who are in here without documentation. And how does that relate to all the other players involved? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I think he made a good point, because whenever you bring the security aspect of it up, and the obligation of a sovereign nation has the right to dictate who can come in, how they come in, the method and the means, you run the risk of sounding like some rights in the nut job, which just inflames people that may already have some kind of a bias. Okay? I belong to a large family that is, for want of a better term, an Anglo-Latino family. And the Latino members of my family happen to be very conservative Bush Republicans. And they are very, very upset about what they see as preferential treatment being given to undocumented workers who come into this country when they didn't get that kind of treatment when they came in here 50 and 60 years ago, and they're very upset about it. And, you know, this is one of the things that they talk about when, you know, we have lively family gatherings, I can tell you. But you know, this is, and I really identify with them, because in the terms of, you know, they're saying, why are these people getting all this preferential treatment? Why are we spending all of this time and all of this money on people who won't play by the rules? And we're endangering our national security. Now, you know, agree with that or don't agree with it, there are a lot of reasonable people out there who actually who believe that.
And you're getting right to the issue that we feel we can talk about. What is fair? From ACLU's perspective, we're usually talking about what's fair right now for people that have an interest right now. But I think it's perfectly legitimate for somebody to feel offended because they were treated X number of years ago in a different fashion than people.
But you know, what they see is, and I agree with them, as the right way. That's the right way.
Yeah, you know, I think that's the ideal situation. Is everybody throughout history was treated fairly. You know, hasn't happened yet. And chances are, before we get to the end of the line on this, there's going to be a lot more people who feel as though they didn't get as good a deal as somebody else. It seems, personal opinion, not ACLU opinion, you know, if we shoot for something that simply solves the problem on a more permanent basis, then I think society is in a better place. I'm not quite sure ACLU has a role in that particular solution. I think just as we go along, though, making sure that we're involved in making sure that people are treated fairly.
I agree with that idea, and the medical treatment as well. That's just horrendous.
Let's take one more, and then we're going to break. If legislation passed with the road to citizenship, you're saying that there's not a constitutional handle there for the ACLU. Well, what if that's challenged in court, which it probably would be, and it starts going up toward the Supreme Court? So would the ACLU be able to intervene in that?
Yeah, hard to say. My guess would be no, but it would depend on what the issue was. How did that percolate up? And what is the actual, you know, what are the precise legal issues that were being taken up by the court? I feel pretty confident in saying that we wouldn't be involved in that kind of issue at the trial level. And you know, again, I'm the legislative guy. I'm not the litigator guy. But if there was going to be something that we were getting involved in, they'd probably identify it at that first appellate level and decide whether they're going to get involved or not. One of the things we do get involved in a lot more frequent basis is writing an amicus brief on some very narrow piece that we do find some relevant ACLU issue attached to. And so it might happen there, you know, if we saw that some particular group, if the proposal involved setting up some kind of quota system or something like that, you know, we might opine on some aspect of it. My guess is we wouldn't be involved in the court if that was set up just the way you suggested. Thank you very much.